Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. I'm glad to present you an overview of the achievements of the project eCultSkills with Professor Kameas. During the next few minutes, we will try to present you some of the main challenges that the ICT and culture are facing, and how the eCult project try to provide. Okay, thank you. And how the eCult project has tried to provide a contribution to these challenges. We will also present you a little bit of the process that will follow for the development of the project and the main outcomes. Culture is one of the most promising growth enablers in Europe. Cultural sector remains stable despite the hard economic pressures that we have faced during the last years. We can also say that jobs in cultural sector have been slightly increasing in the last decade, and they are also a good opportunity to create new jobs for youth. ICT and digital media has been an important part of the culture sector. The use of ICT for access to cultural heritage is a societal demand supported by the EU policy, like the digital agenda, and potential for new and more jobs and even better economic growth. In order to meet the expectations of the sector and market of cultural institutions for being competitive, professionals in culture sector have to have ICT or eSkills. That means the ability to manage digital content, to be creative, to apply ICT to cultural settings and offers, and also versatility to adapt ICT to different contexts, users, targets as needed. Having in mind these challenges, the eCult project, a project that has been supported by the Lifelong Learning Program from the European Commission and co-funded by the Greek National Agency, has been coordinated by the Hellenic Open University. It's a project that has run for 2 years. We started in October of 2014, and we are closing it at the end of this month. The project was developed by a consortium of 6 European partners, as said before, coordinated by the Hellenic Open University, and partners from Germany, as Euproma, Kibla from Slovenia, the Forum of eCultSkills with a European scope, Maison de la Promotion Sociale from France, and Mapas das Ideas from Portugal. These partners are involved in the field of culture, of education, and also ICT, so together work in this project. We had as an aim with the project to reduce the shortage of qualified ICT professionals in cultural sector. And we had 3 main objectives. The first one was the research part, where we try to identify ICT needs in terms of competence in the cultural sector. We try to identify also the gaps existing in the trainings. And our second objective was to identify and define job role profiles for eCulture jobs. Those profiles are based are aligned to the main European frameworks as the EQF and the ECF. And based on these profiles, our third objective was to provide guidance for training organizations on how to prepare trainings for e-culture jobs. As I said, our project has been following the main frameworks, the European frameworks. As the e-competence framework, we use the updated version, the version number 3, the European qualification framework, and we have as reference also the European credit system of vocational education and training. Additionally, we had the guidelines, reference materials from previous Leonardo da Vinci projects that we work already in the field of developing profiles, as the EQF Core project and the EQF IBSER project. Talking a little bit of the process that we follow to develop our project, we follow mainly 4 steps. The first step was the research that we carried out in the participating countries about the needs in each country, the needs of qualified professionals, what the labor market of the e-culture was demanding, and also the training offer available in these countries. With that, we were able to establish the gap between the demand and the offer. Then we were able to define the most 5 relevant or promising e-culture jobs, roles, profiles, then develop the training guidelines for training organizations, and the step 2 and 3, when we defined our products, it's important to say that they were evaluated. They went through an evaluation phase. The profiles as well as the training guidelines were evaluated by experts from the field. That was, in summary, the process that we follow. And I would like to ask Professor Kameas if he speaks briefly about the outcomes.
Okay. These are the main outcomes of this project. We produced the descriptions of 5 role profiles for upcoming job roles that are related to the combination of the application of ICT technology in the museum sector. So actually these are jobs that encompass eCultSkills to a great extent. These are compatible with the European standard of describing e-jobs, ECF. It has been adopted as a standard this year. ECF is the outcome of a big consortium of European ICT companies, universities and other organizations, and its aim is to define, to produce a framework, to provide a framework with which one can systematically define ICT-related job role profiles. So we used it for our 5 job roles. These will be presented in the following of this session. And then we also produced a set of guidelines for applying this, for developing training offers that would meet the needs of these job roles. So this is a kind of a complete package for somebody who is interested in preparing people to enter the market and occupy these job roles. We have the job role description, and then we have the training guidelines on how to produce trainings for these job roles. And for one of these roles, we have also produced a sample training in order to, as a proof of concept that our methodology can be applied in practice. All these have been uploaded and are available for free to download in the eJobs Observatory, which is a European platform for job role descriptions. in this platform, the eCultSkills project has its own, let's say, digital corner, where you can find all these outcomes, and also you have the opportunity to provide comments on this, to provide your own input, to provide suggestions, and of course all feedback is welcome. In the eJobs Observatory you can find similar job role profiles from other projects we have run for other sectors like e-learning sector, like green jobs sector, and so on. It's an interesting platform. I invite all of you to become members. It's for free. To invite other colleagues of yours to become members and to fuel the dialogue that is going on in this platform. And one technical outcome of this project is the XML-based description of these job roles and of the whole ECF framework. This is something we are going to use in order to facilitate the automated search in this, let's say, repository of job roles for specific skills, specific competencies, or specific job roles. Thank you. These are the 5 job roles. I will not go into details now because, as I said, the presentation that follows will analyze them. The digital cultural asset manager, this is the one we have used as an example. Produced also training material for this. The cultural ICT consultant, interactive cultural experience developer, online cultural community manager, and cultural ICT guide. I think, at least
to me, this seems innovative in the sense that I haven't heard of these jobs until we went into this project. Of course, these are the result of an analysis phase, as my colleague Ligia said before, trying to listen to the needs of the community and the stakeholders and to consolidate their input into specific job roles. And this is the outcome. Okay, we can skip this. This is the XML version of this and how they can be used. Okay, this is the address of the eJobs Observatory, and this is our Twitter account if you want to be connected to this project and the future outcomes of the future project. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much for respecting the time as well.